Hey everybody, John Luke here, and I'm joined by Matt Holland from Larian Studios.
Oh, thanks for having me, Matt.
Yeah, how's your flight?
Really good. It's long from Dublin, but we made it here in one piece.
Well, it's happy to have you here. We're taking a look at Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition. Why didn't you guys call it a Divinitive Edition?
You know, the number of times I've tripped over and made that exact mistake, you think we may as well, but the guys in publishing insisted on Definitive Edition.
Yeah, it might cause some confusion. All right, so we're looking at the game on PlayStation 4 here, and we're going to go through some of the changes, because it sounds like you guys have actually added a lot to this game.
Yes, it's not just a port. We're not just bringing it to Xbox One and PS4. We've also done a huge overhaul to the game as a whole to really give you guys the best definitive edition of the game. And I mean, let's just jump into character creation here. I'll kind of show you guys, for the people who aren't as familiar with Divinity, you know, what we're all about and some of the things you can do in creating your character inside of the game.
So here we are in the character creator. And yeah, why don't we just run through what you can do with this?
Yeah, so I mean, as a little intro to the world of Divinity, we in the world of Divinity are sorcerers. And now, see, it's not a very good time for sorcerers in Divinity. See, we're getting blamed for the Voidwoken, these big monsters coming into the world.
Right.
So they've been rounding us all up, and they've been throwing us into the penal colony of Fort Joy. Now, obviously with any RPG, you always start off with creating who you are. So we're going to create our sorcerer. And now, a really cool thing about Divinity, and I think we're the only RPG who does this, is that we allow the full game to be played in co-op. And not just co-op online, but couch co-op, split screen.
Yes, I had a fantastic time playing the game last year, online co-op with my friends. And I'm really excited that this game has split screen with the console, so I'm hoping to play it with my girlfriend this time.
Oh yeah.
So let's see here if I can just hop on in. Oh, there we go.
See, and now the screen splits in half, and we're able to both.
It's so easy.
Yeah, and we can just create our characters in real time and run through the entire game from start to finish, which is a lot of fun. Now, the most important part, or for me, I think my favorite part of character creation, isn't just choosing your skills and what your characters do, what they look like, but also their background. Now you can play a custom character without a background, but I think probably my favorite part is choosing a character with an origin. And now an origin is actually a character that exists inside of the world. So for example, I'm sitting on here with the Red Prince.
Yes.
Right? And I can kind of look at his origin info here, but I can also hear his story. He can tell it to me. Like this.
Famed, of course, for my unique red skin and unparalleled skills as a general of the House of War, I, the Red Prince, was raised within the vast palaces of the fabled Forbidden City. I was destined to become the next emperor. But my ambitions suffered a bit of a setback when I fell from grace for cavorting with demons. Now, I'm exiled and hunted by assassins. But I assure you, I remain undaunted and as determined as ever to claim my rightful throne.
So that's actually just one of our 6 origin characters.
Right.
And even if you don't choose an origin character in the game, you're actually going to see them pop up in the actual game world. Because like I said before, they exist inside of the world. You can actually recruit every single one of these origins as a companion in your party if you don't choose them in character creation.
Yeah, it's funny, the Red Prince, in fact, ended up, the beginning, he was probably my least favorite party member. He actually became one of my favorites by the end.
Oh yeah, we've had a lot of people say that because he's a bit rough around the edges at the start, but then I think he grows on a lot of people. But yeah, I think he's one of my favorites. Personally, I think my favorite origin is probably Sibyl. I like her as well. The elf assassin.
I picked Losa when I first played.
Oh, right on. Another one of the fan favorites.
Yeah, I really liked her sort of unique dynamic with her the voice in her head. I thought that was really cool.
And after we choose our origin, our backstory, we also get to choose things like our build preset. Now, we do have what we call a classless system in Divinity, so you can build up your character in any way you like. So the preset is just there, it's just kind of like, a basic build, but you can go over and adjust everything you want to make your character as custom as you like.
Yes.
But you know what? I think I'm gonna take a look at these, and after we kind of do some of the stats, we go into what we call the tag system. Now, the tag system is really cool. This is what lets us roleplay inside of the world of Divinity. See, your tags actually play a huge role in the game in that they allow you to make specific dialogue choices only available to characters with those tags. So for example, the Red Prince, you can see, has the Red Prince tag. So obviously he's the only one who's going to be able to get those tag options, those dialogue options. And it's not just what you can do, it's also how the world perceives you. So if a group of assassins comes over and sees the Red Prince, and they know they're trying to find the Red Prince, well, they're obviously going to try to kill him. But if they talk to, say, Losa or one of the other characters, they might just wander off. So not only is there a game inside of you moving as a party, there's also a game inside of who do you choose to interact with the world with on a character per character basis. But you know what, guys? I think this gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on inside of the game. So why don't we just jump right in? So let's jump into the actual game itself.
Yes.
And here we are inside of Fort Joy.
All right,
now,
cool.
We've kind of jumped ahead a little bit. We skipped over the tutorial area, and we're kind of now into the meat of the game.
Yes.
So like I said before, the Magisters have taken up all the sorcerers, including us, and thrown us into the penal colony here. And we kind of got to find a way out, because I don't know about you, I'd rather not stay inside of the penal colony.
No, definitely not. All right. Do you have a specific thing you want to do?
Clouded and gray.
Oh wow! Look at that, split screen.
Yeah, there you go. So that's one of the cool things about the game is when we're close together. See, you're playing the Red Prince, and I'm playing with my own guys. When we're close, the screen will come together.
Oh, interesting.
And when we go out on our own separate ways in the world, the game's going to split up. Yep.
Oh, that's great.
So even if I'm in combat, you can be off trading with a merchant or interacting with an animal, whatever you want to do.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So, like I said, we got to kind of find a way out of this place. And for me, I'm kind of looking at these brutes over here. They're trying to shake down this elf for money, and I want to see how I want to interact with this.
Right.
So I'm going to click on them and see what happens inside of this situation.
Okay, and even though I'm far away, it lets me hear in on...
Well, see, you've actually just gone through a dialogue to a
I'm talking
completely
to a different guy. Never mind, that just happens at the same time. That's funny.
So we can actually, even though we both want to escape, we don't have to escape the same way. So, for example, you can find a way out yourself, whereas I'm trying to, resolve this issue with these brutes shaking down this elf. You can find your way out with Gawain here.
Oh, I remember this guy, yeah.
So for me, in my situation here, I'm seeing these brutes trying to take the money and the food from this elf here, and this is where my choices in the game are really going to count for something. See, this situation can play out in a bunch of different ways. Now, do I decide to help out the elf and, fight the brutes, take them on? Maybe I try to help out the brutes instead and try to get some money off this elf. Or, maybe I try to resolve this peacefully instead and, try not to cause any war here.
There's a lot of guards. Might
not work out the best for us. So let's just try to do the peaceful thing and resolve this peacefully. Now the cool thing about this is because I chose to resolve this peacefully and help them out, this character right here, Ethan Ben Metzt, is actually going to be a lot more friendly to me. And just so happens that Ethan is one of our 6 origin characters.
Yes.
So, like we said before, they can be recruitable companions. And what do you say? Why don't we bring him on board?
Let's do it. We need one more person in our party, so let's go.
All right, fantastic. Well, we're going to shake his hand a bit, go through his dialogue here. And now Ethan is a former lone wolf. He used to be a mercenary, and we actually find out later on down the line that he used to work with who will eventually become one of our enemies inside of the game. So he has a lot of really interesting opinions and outlook around the game that obviously only he's going to get because he has the Ifan tag. So he's going to have those unique interactions.
Yeah, even though I played through this game last year on the PC, I still feel like I want to sink another 80 hours into it because you don't get to bring everyone with you in your party. So I'm like, oh, I missed out on all these potential cool stories. Like I actually didn't bring Ifan with me, and I kind of feel like I missed out. And I'm like, oh, I want to play it again. This time I want to bring him along.
Well, that's a really cool thing too, and another big push that we did with the Definitive Edition is we've really gone through and added a lot more options for those characters, especially for Beast, who a lot of people felt like there just wasn't enough content for him specifically. We've gone through, especially in the later parts of the game, and given him a lot more stuff to do, a lot more unique interactions with that area.
Oh, that's great.
Before we hit the road. Survival.
And now another one of those things that really missed me with some RPGs is maybe I like the character, but they don't fit the right role in my RPG party. I really like this guy, but I need a mage and he's a fighter, right? So one of the things we can do is say, Ifan, I would like you to be a battle mage or a fighter or whatever composite we need. You're never restricted to just the personality. You can always choose when you first recruit them to be whatever you want them to be.
Yeah, I love that about this. Like you said, it kind of frees you up to really focus on the story and also have the right party composition with those characters. Because I've definitely played games before where I was like, oh, I love this character, but I can't put them in my party, because then I'll have 2 healers or whatever, and it just doesn't fit. So I think that's so cool that you guys did that.
And it's also nice because of the classes system, even if you do pick something, but you'd rather, your healer be a pyromancer shooting fireballs at people, you can still build them up throughout the rest of the game. You're never locked into one specific class.
Right.
And now, it looks like I have 3 guys and you only have the 1, so I'm actually going to give you a guy.
Oh, that's
what do you think?
great.
Do you think Fane or Ifan? Who do you want there?
I'll take Fane.
All right. I think that's a good choice there. He's one of my favorites too. All right.
Sweet.
Oh, what am I doing?
Did that not? There we go.
There we go.
Awesome. I think I need to. I know there's a way.
All right, you just
because he's disconnected from me right now.
Yeah. So if you just hold the right or left trigger, and you just press the triangle button.
There we go.
There you go.
Thank you. Awesome.
And now we're off on our merry way again.
The menus seem all new as well.
Yeah, it's similar to the ones we used for the first DOS for that enhanced edition, but we've really gone through and we've upgraded a lot. So you've already see the new improved UI systems we have. You're already looking at it right there.
Yeah, that looks like you've added some new visual flares to it. Does that stuff translate to the PC version as well? Are there changes to the UI?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything's been gone over with a fine-tooth comb, especially things like the journal. So if you look at the journal, it's actually going to have it's a lot more comprehensive. It's going to not only tell you what you've learned, but give you a better general idea of where you need to go and what you need to do. Now, this is kind of a hard thing for us because we didn't want it to be too hand-holdy, right? We still want you to have that authentic RPG experience. We don't want to tell you exactly where to go and what to do. We want you to be able to find your own way and let you role-play the way you want to do it.
Yeah, no, that's something I really liked about the journal in the game was that it wasn't there to exactly tell you, go to this waypoint, click on this, and that's how you beat the quest, because, these quests are very open-ended. But it's nice that, it seems like you guys are maybe trying to give a little bit of hints for those who, because there are definitely times where I'm like, oh, I have no idea what to do to continue this quest.
Well, and that's the thing as well, right? We also want people who aren't playing hardcore, people who only have, 4 or 5 hours a week or even less, to come back and be able to jump back in the game and still have a rough, good idea of what they're doing. And that's really a big push for the journal, just to make it clearer for people what they need to do and where they need to go.
Right.
So let's keep going. We kind of come across this guy here.
Yeah, this guy was pretty interesting, I remember.
He's kind of eating on the dead bodies, so why don't we go talk to him? Why don't you go click on that guy there?
I'll talk to him. I'll be the one.
Creature heaves through lips gummed with human
I'm going to join in. See, even though we're playing separately, I can still join in on your conversation by listening.
By listening,
Now
yes.
I get to see what's going on with you and your decisions.
Quite lost.
Yeah, that was a really fun thing playing co-op with friends, would be they're the ones making the decision, and you could like, you know, we're talking over voice chat, you can tell them like, do this or do that, but like, they're the ones who makes the decision, and if they're like, well, no, I think my character would do this, and I was like, no! But I love that. I think it feels like a D&D game in that sense.
Well, and that's what we're ultimately striving for at Larian, is to make a pen and paper experience in a video game. And so if you want to, you know, do what you think your character would do if you're role-playing, if you want to play the Red Prince, you can role-play the Red Prince. If you want to do what you want to do as a person, you can do that as well. It's all up to you. Now, so I guess it's what? Is it my turn first?
Yep.
It looks like it is.
going
All
first.
right. So this is our first little combat here in the game. Now, if you're new to Divinity, you're going to notice that the game's kind of changed now. We've gone to turn-based mode. So while you're interacting with the world, you are in real time, but once we get to combat, then the game stops, and you get to interact inside of your own turn. See, now my turn's done, and now it's the enemy's turn, and he's a pretty powerful enemy.
Yeah, we need to get away from him.
Yeah. Next, it's your turn.
Okay, so do I need to heal anyone? Okay, maybe. Looks like I'm okay. All right. Oh, I need to get a little closer.
So you see that did a little bit of damage to him, but you saw that Decaying Touch was actually blocked. Now, we have, not only on top of your regular health bar, we have two other bars that are relevant to your stats. We have your physical armor and your magical armor. That's the gray and the blue bar,
Right.
respectively. So I can still damage a character who has those armors up, but any ailments or status effects are not going to affect them if they still have that kind of armor on them. So for example, if I tried to, if you try to knock him down here, because he still had some armor up, you do the damage, but you don't knock him down, you just,
Let's see here, I could do fire, but he's got all his magic armor.
Now Fortify might be nice.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Because he does a lot of physical damage, so we wanna make sure.
All right, yeah, let's fortify myself.
All right, my turn. So I'm going to inspire you guys, give you some encourage here, buff up the group. And oh, I can't move because he crippled me with his attack. Okay, I'm going to try to use this knockdown arrow. Hope it's going to be enough to punch through his armor. Just not enough. I don't know. We're in dire straits here, buddy. All right.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Are we on fire? Doesn't look like anyone's on fire yet.
No, not yet. But you know, if you know Divinity, you know how fast things just seem to catch on fire.
Just catches, yeah, everywhere. It's ridiculous.
Now, luckily, his physical armor is gone now.
Let's see. Well, I could do. No one needs healing yet, so I might do Bloodsucker. Try to absorb some of his health here.
I think I just healed him a little bit.
Did I? Oh no.
That's all right. I think we still got this.
Is it because he's is he like a? Oh no, he's not undead though. Is he?
I think it's the skill. It sucks up all the blood around him and heals him.
No, I didn't even think of that.
That's all right. We're just making him overconfident here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's,
yeah, totally.
It's the fake out. It's the long game we got here.
I'm just gonna hit him. That's the thing. Like getting into this game, you have to remember all these little like, oh yeah, like, well, you know, they're undead, so don't, you know, don't use poison because that'll heal them and stuff like that. There's a lot of systems to this game, and it's really fun trying to like figure out how they all interact with each other.
And that's a big thing, is trying to design a game inside of so many systems, right? Because every action that you do, every time you're trying to design one of these situations, you have to take into account all the different ways a player can interact with themselves. So, you know, if you're trying to save an NPC from, you know, a cell, it's not just you being able to find the key and unlock the key. You have things like a teleport spell, so you can teleport them out of the cell.
Right.
So you always got to be extra aware of the other ways players can cheat the system.
What's this?
Get a ring.
I found something.
I remember this ring's pretty good because it gives you free restoration.
That's pretty good, yeah, especially for early in the game. You really want those nice heals. Now see, I just found the secret here. Because my character has really high wits, I was able to spot this dirt pile.
Okay.
Now we can actually dig away here, and let's see what we find. Would you look at that?
Ooh.
It's a little hatch. Do you think we can go in? You think
Oh,
we
yeah.
just
Let's do it.
maybe it even finds us a way out.
I remember there being so many different ways to go out. Like we hit a point when we were playing where we found a way out of Fort Joy, and then we're like, well, I feel like we haven't explored everything. Let's go back and like check. And then we found like 3 more ways to get out, and we were like, okay, well, which one should we take now? And it was I love the amount of options this game presents.
Well, you know, the funny thing about that is, and we definitely designed this whole area about trying to find, give the player his chance to find his own way out. But the funny thing is, once we launched on Early Access, we actually found players who were finding unintended ways out.
Oh, really?
Like just ways that we didn't even see. But because of the systemics we talked about, there are always ways to kind of cheat the system just a little bit.
Oh.
And obviously, we're not going to patch that. We want the players to cheat the system. We want you to find your own way.
What was an example? Like, were people using teleport, or?
Yeah, there were a lot of ones with teleport where they would find just a little patch of area where they could teleport to a guy to, and then they use that as a way out.
I remember you can talk to the slug if we had a pet pal, but I don't think anyone in our party.
Let's see, maybe.
Does Ifan have it? I want to maybe. No, no one has it.
That's too bad.
Aw, bummer.
That's all right though. So now coming up here. Oh. Is another little situation that gives us a lot of opportunity to display how we want to interact with the game.
Okay.
The fiery slime creature looms
Is the fire
imperiously
slugs.
over you and utters a questioning gurgle.
So, like you said before, we don't have Pet Pal. Now, if we did have Pet Pal,
The slime beast
it's just a skill that allows you to talk to any animal in the game, or in this case, a fire slug.
Highly useful.
Very
Recommend
useful,
it.
but unfortunately, we did not.
No, we did not pick it.
But that's all right.
The slime beast.
I don't think she's going to be too happy with us here, and we get into a bit of a fight.
Bummer.
Now, I think we're a bit underleveled for this fight,
Uh-oh.
but
Maybe we can make it happen.
we can try our best.
We can try and make it happen here. All right. Well, I got a water balloon, and someone's on
be
fire,
useful.
so why don't we start with that? Also, that'll get fire slug wet, which I assume will help out.
And that's another cool thing we have in the game that new people to the series will notice, is that our services that you find in the game are completely systemic. So
Right.
what happens if you have a fire surface on the ground and you put water on it? Well, it turns into steam and douses the fire. What happens if you put electricity onto that water surface you just made? Well, it does electrified water, and then when you walk on that, you get stunned. And you can keep on going through this loop infinitely. You can keep on interacting with those surfaces. And this gets really interesting when later on in the game you come across skills like Curse and Bless. So we have another systemic in the game that allows you to make cursed and blessed variants of all those surfaces.
Right.
So you have so many different options, so many different ways to interact with the environment. It's not just about who does the most damage in combat. It's about who uses the environment to the most effect.
I loved going on Reddit, and you just find people who would mention all these crazy things that was like so cool, of like combinations of like, oh, do you know you can combine this spell and this spell? I remember somebody mentioned to me how when you're in a dungeon and there's a torch, if you shoot an arrow through it, it would light on fire. And I was like, what? Like, you can do that? Like, there's just all these little things that you could do. That was crazy. Yeah, I would like blood, like electricity blood. I would do a lot. That was a good one. Oh man, we're getting smoked.
But that's the thing about this game. Even though we're underleveled, we're still able to pose a pretty big threat. In fact, we might even be able to pull this one out, I think. So we're doing all right.
We're doing okay.
All right. And the thing is, even if we don't finish this one out, we're still able to reload our save and try a new method.
Yeah.
So that's another cool thing. We're never locked into our position. Even if it didn't work out with the slugs here, maybe we could even go back into Fort Joy. And like you said before, you and your friends
Find different options.
find different options. You know, find different ways, because we always have the people who love, you know, the completionists. This is, I think, a very satisfying game for the completionists as well, because there's so many different options, so many different ways to complete a goal. You're just never going to see everything inside of one playthrough.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we never did this fight. We had Pet Pals, so we were actually able to talk to the slugs and avoid combat. Great.
And now you finally get to see the other side of it.
Exactly.
What this would have been.
What happens if we kill all the slugs?
And the fire hellscape that they create.
Oh, so much fire.
All right, what do we got here? You know, I'm gonna try to rush past this guy. Maybe I'm gonna go after the princess there. Ooh, I am not doing very well. My health is.
Oh no!
All right, well we got a healing potion here. All right, let's send that out there. All right, back to me here. Oh, and he is stuck in smoke there, which means I can't see him inside that smoke cloud. So that's another, like I said before, all the surfaces are bound by systemics. So
right.
Eventually, fire is going to burn out, and that turns into smoke. I'm gonna just give us guys a buff again.
You know, I think my favorite little trick I learned is you could take nails and you could combine them with your shoes, so you could walk on ice and you wouldn't slip. I thought that was so clever. Did you guys just like brainstorm like all the like different like crazy like what if people want to combine this with this and like how would that affect like?
Well, it comes a lot more natural than that. It's not. We don't just take an asset like nails and say what can we do with the nails. We kind of play the game. And we say, oh, wouldn't it be cool? Well, in the middle of a play session, we'll come up with these cool, crazy ideas that come out of nowhere.
And then implement it.
Somebody implements it, and then it's just a thing from then until the end of time.
That's so cool. All right, is this slug still alive?
I think that one's dead.
Okay, that slug's dead, yes.
But there is one near you there. I think in the smoke.
There he is.
Yep.
Let's see. Can I hit him from here? Ah, I gotta move a little forward.
Well, just getting up close to my ranger here. But that's all right. We got the red prince to save the day.
I'm really impressed how easy it is to just play this co-op on one screen.
Yeah, I mean, and the other cool thing is that it's completely drop in, drop out. So it's not like if you started a game, a play session, without me. Like you saw just here, this wasn't a game that we started from character creation.
Right.
You just jumped in, and we're able to play on the same save. And you can just easily jump out and come back 20 hours of gameplay later and jump back in again.
Yeah, might have to explain a few things.
Yeah, exactly.
They can do it.
All right.
If anyone who's watching this video hasn't played the game but didn't play it co-op, I highly recommend giving co-op a try because I really think that's where this game shines. I had such a good time playing with friends. It was probably one of my favorite experiences of last year.
Well, that's great to hear. And another thing, if you do like the co-op side of thing, or maybe a little bit of the PvP side, we've actually gone back and revamped our entire arena mode.
Oh,
which was at release for the PC a little bit bare bones, but we've gone through and we've actually updated it so that you only need one controller now to play locally. We have a hot seat mode.
Oh, okay.
We've gone through and add a much cooler character selection scene, so you can now choose from a variety of characters across the Divinity universe, not just through DOS 2, but through other games in the Divinity series.
Oh, that's neat.
And yeah, we've even added a few little cool quirks inside of there, a few different game modes that you can try out to see who's the arena master, who's the best among you and your friends.
Oh no, we lost the Red Prince.
I don't know, man. This is looking pretty dire straits here.
Yeah. It said fire. That was the first thing we did. Was we're like, someone get a rain spell. Everything catches on fire in this game.
I still can't see him.
Yeah, they're just trying to get this dude. Yeah, what level are these guys?
I think these are level 3.
Oh, yeah,
now,
we're like level 1 or 2.
I think this is probably
a
reset here, but that's okay. That happens inside of the game.
That happens a lot, for sure. You got to be prepared to trial and error. But I would enjoy that because me and my friends, you're talking about your strategies and you're thinking, well, okay, we'll try this and that. But then when you fail, it becomes this learning experience of, well, that didn't work. And then it's like, oh no, I have an idea. This time, my ranger will kind of like sneak in and maybe like go up on top and like plan an attack, and I'll move this barrel over here so that you can shoot it and stuff like that. Like I love that about this game.
And that's another really fun thing about it is that there's always ways to adjust your strategy. So we weren't as completely outmatched, even though we were a lower level than you think we would be. For example, if I switch my characters and maybe I sneak, maybe we can even get behind them and avoid the situation entirely.
Oh,
I think one of the slugs spotted you, but
yeah,
that's all right. As long as
I'll wait a sec. I'll see what you're.
I'm gonna move up these vines very sneakily as a rock.
I love that.
No one suspects.
Oh, that's so good. Let's see if I can sneak my way up there. There we go.
It's all right. It's only the queen who's going to address us, so she's the only one that we need to worry about.
Avoid her.
And the cool thing is that there's so many ways to play the game that even if right now we aren't quite strong enough for a fight, we can always do some quests and come back later once we're stronger and show those slugs who's boss.
Yeah. Do we want to, there's a really fun quest where, with the teleporting crocodiles. Do we want to try that one?
Oh, we can try that, absolutely. Yeah, so let's go back to Fort Joy, and thankfully we should have
a save.
A waypoint.
Oh yeah, waypoints, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so
you just get right back in there.
Yeah, so we can actually waypoint to Fort Joy Square.
Oh, that's so fast.
And now we're back at it. So I think you already talked to Gowan.
Yep, I got the quest.
Yeah, so he's trying to find a way out of Fort Joy, but he needs help.
Oh, he's talking to you. Oh, that's interesting. So he'll talk to you even though he already talked to me.
Yeah, so some of our quests will be per each player playing.
Oh, interesting.
So even though you have the quest, he's actually trying to just find the person who can get him out. So
he's going to ask everyone.
Yeah, he's going to ask both of us, and whoever is able to deliver the gloves to him is going to get the reward. But I don't know about you, I kind of want to work together after seeing the fire slugs.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that we're in much of a position to be off soloing these things by ourselves. So let's fight these guys together.
So what are some of the other big changes you guys have been making to this version?
So the biggest change, I think, of all is going to be the third act of the game. I'm not sure if you got that far, but the City of Arcs, which represents about 40 hours worth of the game, has been completely reworked, redone from the ground up.
Oh, really?
I'm talking quests, writing, just full gameplay experience.
Wow.
Is completely redone. We had a lot of feedback from people saying it dragged a little bit. It wasn't as good as a payoff for the game that came before it. So we decided to go back and improve it because we didn't just want to pump out, like I said before, a port for the game. We really wanted to make the experience the best we possibly could for you guys, the fans. And yeah, I think we've really done that with the definitive edition.
Wow, yeah, that sounds pretty substantial to completely change that whole section of the game. Okay, let's see here. Well, I want to stay back.
A few other things we've done is, like I said before, the journal's gone through a complete overhaul. Like I said, the arena mode is now updated, and obviously a lot of other small things to the game, not quite as extensive as an entire reworked of Arcs, but a lot of quests have just gone through various improvements and updates, obviously bug fixes and things like that.
Right.
So now be good to go.
And all of this is coming to PC as well, right?
Absolutely. Not only is it coming to PC, if you already own the game, you'll be getting this game showing up in your library August 31st.
Oh,
Absolutely
so for free. That's
Absolutely
awesome.
free, yeah. We did this with the enhanced edition of DOS 1, and we decided to do it again here because it makes sense. You guys are the ones supporting us and making the game great, so we want to give it back to you guys.
Okay, all right, so I got some oil on this guy. It'd be a pretty good chance for Losa to hit him with a fire thing.
And you actually have a fire grenade
I
yourself,
actually
so
do.
you can be the one that sets it off.
Why don't I just do that then? I don't have enough AP though. Oh,
I think you do. I think you just need to press Y or sorry, triangle. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. I was on the wrong thing. Yeah, there we go. You can't move without getting hit either. I don't know how to do that. When we first played the game, we were playing on classic difficulty, and this was the fight that just gave us a lot of trouble. Like the combat definitely doesn't joke around. When you play on those, when you play on like classic or harder.
Yeah, and we've actually gone through and added a new difficulty mode called Story Mode.
Oh, really?
Which is another big thing to the game. So if you're really more interested in just experiencing the story, experiencing this huge RPG, but you really just want the combats to be quick and snappy, that's absolutely a new gameplay mode for you.
I love when games give just as many options as possible for players, because, it's like there are some people who just really want the narrative and love the characters, but maybe the combat's just not for them. That's awesome that you guys are providing that.
Yeah, we really want everybody to be able to experience this huge open story, and yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna use a water balloon, 'cause we're on fire.
Oh yeah, put out, that's a good idea.
And maybe...
We're doing a lot better in this one, huh?
We are. We're definitely doing a lot better. Okay. A little bit, but not much.
Oh.
That was weird. I'll tell you.
I think you attacked the ground there.
Attacked the
That's all
ground.
right.
No, I was trying to move.
I think we're up ahead enough in this one. In fact, I think you got a good lineup there for a battle stomp. Knock those guys down.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can get both of them.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic. Can I get up and hit this guy?
Not quite enough AP.
No.
That's all right.
That's okay. I'll just get up close to him for next time.
All right, now I think I'm gonna give this guy a quick little battering ram here.
Nice.
And I'm just gonna give him a quick little love tap there. Okay, let's finish these guys off here.
Yeah,
Huh?
she's got the pick.
That's 1. That's 2.
Everyone does
Oh,
all the hard work
boy.
and she just picks them off. All right, and so this is the guy.
That's the last guy alive here.
Let's see if I can. Can I get him with the decaying touch? Ah, so
Need
close.
a little closer.
There we go.
So that decaying touch there makes it so that any healing done against them is going to do damage instead of
Damage
healing.
instead.
Which makes it similar to Undead, who have a unique mechanic in our game where if you heal them, they take damage, but if they're poisoned, they actually heal from that. So it makes a very unique experience. And that's another thing you can do inside of character creation is choose to play as an Undead. But obviously, what's going to happen if you go into the middle of a crowded town square and take off your mask? Well, they're going to freak out a bit and going to call the guards.
So when I played, we would like get to the Fort Joy, and then immediately everyone would just start attacking us. We're like, why is everyone attacking us? And it's because my brother was playing Thane, and we're like, well, what do we? Okay, well, like you just stand over there, and maybe we'll play a little bit, and then but then it's like, well, that's boring. And then we figured out if you put a bucket on his head, you can walk around and no one notices. So he just played the first 5 hours of the game with a bucket on his head. And
You guys thought it was a magical bucket that limited people.
just no one notices, or no one seems concerned that there's a guy with a bucket on his head.
But since
Alright.
we've managed to defeat the crocodiles now, and you've picked up the teleportation gloves,
Yep.
we're actually able to go back to Gowan here and tell him about our successful deeds.
Let's do it.
So, what's the news? Well, I certainly got lucky with. Give me your map. Oh, shit.
All right. I guess we'll follow him.
Think so.
See this quest through.
So like I'd said before, and you had alluded to before, there are many ways to escape Fort Joy.
All right.
And it's not just going under the fort and past the fire slugs. It's not just helping out Gawain with the teleporter quest. If you want, and you are so bold, you can even take the Magister's head on in the fort itself. You can find one of the other teleport routes that we've seen into the game or that other fans have found. You can even help out one of the trapped elves in the ghetto itself, and
Yes.
they will, and he will help you find a way out. It's really how you want to explore Fort Joy.
Teleport me down to the ledge behind me near the tree.
All right. So I think I need to. Well, first I need to equip it. And they're gloves, right?
Yes.
So right there. Yes. Gloves of teleportation. All right.
So now you see that the gloves have given you a skill.
All
It's a
right.
very fun skill to play with. Oh,
So
that's Fane you got there.
Whoop.
And you
Don't-
could teleport him down.
Yeah, I
but,
can teleport him too. There we go. And he wants me to teleport him right
I
here.
think he wants you to teleport him onto the ledge on the side there.
Over here.
Right there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, come towards me. I'll teleport you down. I just need to see you clearly. Come close to the edge as you can, friend.
Now he's going to teleport you down.
Simply perfect. Now, teleport me to that mossy rock across the gulch, just by the torch. You're almost
All
there.
right.
And we've almost come to freedom. Which means...
He wants to go right here.
Yeah, he wants to go right there. Once he's there... What's he going to do?
Even the air smells better here above that pit.
Ah,
For the help.
Seems we've been duped a bit. I don't think he's going to help us out, do
too
you?
good to be true.
But hey, we got a level from that. We got some experience. We learned that sometimes people in prisons aren't, in the penal colonies, I should say, aren't the nicest.
Oh well. How do I get out of here? My traps?
So you do have the teleportation, you do have waypoints, but there's also that little tree trunk there.
Oh, let's check out this tree trunk then.
What's that? Well, it looks like you revealed something there.
Oh, look at that, a hole. Whoa. Oh, hey. And now I'm down here.
Yeah. And where does that lead, I wonder?
A little cave. Ooh. Oh, we're in the dungeon.
Yeah, this might look familiar. This is actually a bit further up from where we left off after the fire slugs.
Oh.
But thankfully it's past the fire slugs, so we can avoid that combat entirely.
Look at that. And so if we were to do the fire slugs, we could get to this area through another means. Mm-hmm. Man, that's cool.
It unfortunately means for me that I can't get down
You can't
there.
get down
so now
there.
I have to go through and find my own way out of the prison. Well, that's fine.
Yeah, that's rad. That we have this ability to kind of do that. Well, yeah, this has been a pretty good look at the game. Is there anything else people should know about with the Definitive Edition?
Well, it's going to be hitting Xbox One, PS4, and PC coming August 31st. And not only that, if you've already picked up the game on Xbox One or PS4, you can already start playing the entire first act of the game. So what we're playing right here, right now, is fully available to you to test out and play yourself. And then once it does go live on the 31st, you can keep on playing with that save. It's not invalidated. Keep on going through and continue your entire adventure.
Well, rad. That is awesome. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for joining me and showing off the game. It was really great to have you.
Thank you very much for having me. It's always great to show off the game.
Yeah, I mean,
give you guys a little teaser.
You know, I mentioned before, this is one of my favorite games of last year, and I'm really glad that more people have a chance to check it out, and that you've been making all these wonderful changes for the fans. That is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, thanks for joining, and for all things Divinity Original Sin 2, stay tuned to GameSpot.